Pilots who managed to land a crippled Russian airliner are back in Moscow. All 81 people on board miraculously survived after a mid-air failure of major electrical systems. RT's Tom Barton reports.
The pilots and engineer have just returned here to Vnukovo Airport in Moscow. They'll now go and talk to some psychologists for some debriefs and counselling for any stress they may have undergone in what was a very tense landing. They've also been helping investigators at the site, trying to work out what happened, and that's what investigators will be doing in the next week to 10 days, trying to get to the root of this huge electrical failure. They currently say in a preliminary statement that they think that 3 out of 4 of the plane's electrical generators failed. But for the full story on this remarkable crash landing, we'll go to my report. The heroes of the taiga. These are the men that managed to land a crippled jetliner in the middle of the forest and not injure a soul. Their passengers are thankful to be alive.
We landed at the airstrip and ended up in the woods. The emergency crews arrived right away. Everything was organized very fast.
If not for the professionalism of the crew, we would not be standing here.
The Tupolev 154 was flying at 10,000 metres on its way to Moscow from Russia's Far East when there was a massive electrical failure. The plane lost all automatic navigation and communication. Its fuel supply and wing flaps were crippled, meaning it had to land quickly and at higher than normal speeds. Even the lights in the cabin and cockpit went out. By sight alone, the pilots found an abandoned airstrip in the depths of the forest and managed to land on their 3rd attempt.
Our plane was designed to land on a concrete airstrip, and at first we chose a rough strip and decided to land there. But during the maneuver, by a miracle, we caught a glimpse of a concrete strip, and although shorter, it would be much safer. When we overshot the strip, there were bushes but no trees, and at that point, we knew for sure that we're going to be safe.
Despite overshooting and ploughing through 200 metres of woodland before stopping, all 81 people on board were evacuated to safety. Vladimir Ruchkin is a former pilot and actually trained the heroes in question. He says he's very proud of his former protégés.
Up in the clouds, they couldn't even tell their altitude or where they were. They only had enough fuel for 10 minutes of flight. In managing to land that plane, they practically did the impossible.
As for the plane itself, investigators are poring over interviews with the crew and witnesses, black box recordings and evidence at the site. Their question: what caused such a massive electrical failure?
Providing that Tupolev 154 is not quite a brand new aircraft, and I'm sure that that aircraft was manufactured probably at least 20 years ago, maybe even more. I believe there is a chance that the equipment was just worn out.
Alrosa Airlines, which owns the plane, says it wasn't aware of any issues before takeoff, but added it would never fly it again. Investigators are focusing on mechanical failure rather than pilot error or weather conditions, but everyone is expecting the pilots to receive medals for their achievement. In time, the technical details of this plane's malfunction will join all of the others in aviation history. But one thing will always stand out: the courage and resourcefulness of the 2 men who brought it safely to Earth. Tom Barton, RT, Moscow.